first three declarations of principles. We believe in an infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. Is that what the world believes? Many do not. Science claims that we are a cosmic accident. Came up with a substitute to the anthropomorphic, which is human-like image of God, using the creative process of nature directly to do the creating. But in so doing, it removed any intelligence from those processes. Science admits that the probability of life developing on its own without any guiding force is so remote that it is forced to come up with exotic theories to account for it. You think religion's a hard sell, try reading some of those theories. Not all scientists agree. Richard Dawkins, British biologist and acclaimed atheist, claims that we are the intelligent result of unintelligent beginnings. Albert Einstein, famous physicist of the last century, said this concerning the harmony of natural law. It reveals an intelligence of such superiority that compared with it, all the systematic thinking and acting of humans is an insignificant reflection. So why the difference between these two perspectives? Richard Dawkins learned from the ground up, which means that what he knows, he learned through study. Albert Einstein, on the other hand, learned from the top down. What he knew, he learned through insight. He used science to prove that his insights were correct. When he would publish a paper, his comrades would say, "Where are his sources?" And other members would say, "He has no sources. He's not basing his claims on prior knowledge. We don't know where he's getting it." When we look at the night sky, it contains a mystery that is beyond comprehension. The physical laws of the cosmos are throughout the same. No one knows why. They only know the result. They do not know the cause that makes it so. To say that we are a cosmic accident is purely conjectural. It's like saying that the builders blindly build the house and having no comprehension of the architect that drew up the plans. Changes to DNA is among the primary sources that support the cosmic accident theory. Yet genetic change and the forces that drive it is still not fully understood. In his book, The Origin of Species, Charles Darwin mapped out the processes upon which evolution may have taken. Yet he remained a theist. When he attempted to explain how the human eye may have developed through an evolutionary process, he did not dismiss the existence of a creator that guided that process from start to finish. Science refuses to acknowledge that the creative processes of nature are guided by a higher power. We know that mutations brought about by certain conditions, such as radiation, powerful drugs, and pollution, often produce harmful genetic effects. If all mutations are random, as is the claim, why should it matter what causes them? And yet it most certainly does. The fact that these conditions disturb the normal functioning of the cell must be taken into consideration when trying to understand how genetic forces occur and the forces that drive. Compare it to a crew of drunken workers trying to build a building, and you get similar results. So what is it that we are not seeing? When I looked at the development of the aircraft industry, I realized that it followed an evolutionary progression. Although it took off in the 20th century, its roots go far back beyond that. The ancient Greek legend of Icarus in the 2nd century AD may be the first account of man's desire to fly. In the 15th century, Leonardo da Vinci produced drawings of potential flying machines, but no one was able to create a full-scale model at the time. During the late 16th and 17th centuries, Daniel Bernoulli and Sir Isaac Newton developed the mathematical principles upon which flight depends, though neither one attempted to fly. The ability to fly would not occur until certain milestones were achieved. The first of those milestones is the development of lightweight material that could be fashioned into an airfoil that wouldn't fail in flight. If your wings fold up under you, you're going down. The second one is the ability to produce a power plant that was both light enough and strong enough to power an aircraft. Those two milestones would not be achieved until the 19th century, but those alone were not enough to make an airplane. The Wright brothers experimented with gliders and determined that they had to control all three axes of flight: pitch, bank, and yaw, in order to create an aircraft that could be controlled in flight. Even though they are credited with the first controllable powered aircraft, they were certainly not the first to attempt such a feat. The aircraft industry started off from simple designs and grew from there. Many early ideas were unsuccessful. Many never got off the drawing board. Some ideas were successful but short-lived, while others stood the test of time. Of those that did succeed, they gradually improved over time, while others morphed into whole new designs. Many countries followed suit, but they adapted the ideas to meet their personal needs and abilities. Today we have aircraft that fit nearly every niche in the aircraft industry, while museums give tribute to aircraft that are no longer in use. What I noted most about aircraft design is that the patterns of aircraft development are nearly identical to the patterns of evolution in nature. The only difference is the rate of change. We know that aircraft design was not the result of ideas scribbled down on paper. They were carefully thought out ideas, even though they didn't always work. So why should the patterns of aircraft design resemble those of so-called random processes? Maybe it's because the processes of evolution in nature are no more random than our own creative processes. We just think they are because we don't understand those processes well enough. Survival of the fittest is not limited to biology. It pertains to nearly every endeavor that humans have put their minds to. Why it is so has never been properly researched and analyzed. If it were, it might change our whole outlook on evolution. They say that we are intelligent and thus can speed up the process, which negates any argument on intelligent design. The fact is that almost everything we do is a copycat of what nature has already provided for our engineers to glean from. The airplane got its design from birds. I have a camera. Its lens and iris system works almost identical to the way my eyes work. If I want to dig a hole, I can dig a hole using my hand, but it doesn't do very good. So we created a mechanical arm. We replaced the bones with steel beams. We used hydraulic pistons for muscles. We changed the control circuits to servo valves. And thus we have a mechanical arm to dig holes. It's called a backhoe. We are reverse engineering many natural components and systems to suit our purposes, which challenges the notion that we are smarter than nature itself. We are merely engaging the same process that brought us into existence, following the same patterns and producing the same kind of results. And that's what Ecclesiastes says to us. The thing that has been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. There is nothing that we are doing that nature hasn't done already. We have not added a single rule to, nor have we altered in any way the natural laws that govern the universe. Simply utilize them as needed. We have not created any matter or energy that didn't already exist at the time of the Big Bang. We used what was provided. We have not created any processes for which the provisions of them did not already exist at the time of the Big Bang. They became available when acted upon. We are building upon that which was already built. One day, our own creations may say of us what we now say of our own origins. We are not the creator. We are among the created. We have no claim in the creation of the universe, nor of galaxies, nor of solar systems, nor of planets, nor of the precursors of life. We don't even have any claim in the creation of our own body. The only thing we do have claim to is our own personal creations. But these creations are all dwarfed by the processes that preceded us. God created the universe. God created galaxies within that universe, containing solar systems and planets. God created the precursors of life and then life itself. What possesses a person that they think that God should bow down to their demands? When we seek God for guidance, we get results. Who are we that we owe it to God? We are that which should give God advice. God does not owe us anything. God gave us life. We owe it to God to direct that life in a manner that is pleasing to God. And if we don't, God has every right to instruct or correct us as needs be so that the kingdom of God doesn't fall apart. Anyone who says that we are the intelligent result of unintelligent beginnings doesn't understand where that intelligence derived from. It is derived from the very material that we are made of. If the atom didn't behave the way it does, none of us would be here, nor would there be any such thing as intelligence. When engineers design anything, they must first understand the laws of nature before they can even begin to produce anything of value. Nature wrote the rule book on how the universe works. And that is why I do believe in infinite intelligence. I do believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. And I do affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute my religion.